Like, nobody cares anymore. Like, these kids are hurting. These kids are hurting. You know, my mom don't want me. You know, my dad don't want me. My dad touched me. You know, I don't got a mom or a dad, so I go to the streets. You know, these kids are in pain, and nobody seems to care. Nobody. You know, the adults, they done quit on life. You know, so who do these kids look to? That's my question. Who do these kids look to? They don't have it. You know, this is a lot deeper than basketball. This is actually not about basketball at all, what we're doing. You know, we trying to change lives. We trying to put these kids on the right trajectory where they don't have to worry about the trauma that they went through. You know, that they're currently going through. They can have a guide in order to have a chance at success.
4, 3, 2, 1. Take a break.
Yeah, I mean shooting from these spots. These elbows.
It was 5 each last time.
20. You get 20 attempts. Alright, we gotta count how many you make. Right? Now you gotta get to a point where you ain't just shooting just to shoot. Alright? You wanna shoot for a purpose. Okay? Because if you can't make, I don't know, 13, 14 out of 20 when nobody else is guarding you, then that shows you how much work you gotta put in. Alright? So focus. You gonna count how many you make out of 20. You gotta outshoot me. Alright? You gotta make more than me. When nobody guard you. Elbow to elbow, okay? Alright, come on. 1 for 1. 1 for 2. 2 for 3. 2 for 4. 3 for 5. 3 for 6. Ooh, 3 for 6. Again, ain't nothing new, bro. Have fun, play as hard as possible. Stay fundamentally sound, man. Try to start enjoying this. Start enjoying this. Like, y'all getting away from really liking basketball. Like, it looked like a job, like a responsibility, a chore to y'all. Go out there and play. Free mind. All right, and just do what we try to teach y'all. As hard as you possibly can for each other. All right? Come on. Outside of that, y'all be fine.
You know, another thing that I just couldn't wrap my head around for the life of me when I first started coaching high school basketball was just the lack of understanding of basketball these kids really have. I mean, they really know nothing. Like, you gotta assume when they walk into the gym that they know nothing about basketball. You know, and if you think about it, it's like, how is that so? Right? Like, what accountability is everybody around these kids, including the kids, taking in order to prepare them for the next level, which is, you know, high school or college basketball? This kid's going to college just a raw talent that has no idea what they're doing, you know, because of the lack of preparation, rather, that, you know, the high school coach put on them, you know, as far as accountability and as far as just teaching. You know, what are these parents doing? You know, let's have a realistic conversation. What are these parents doing in order to gain knowledge of where these kids should be going to better their craft? You know, what is these dads doing? You know, you allow your kid to just go right and score 50 points a game in middle school, and they never learn how to go with their left. You know, what is these coaches doing? What is these AAU coaches doing? What is these high school coaches doing? Yeah, y'all dominating, playing the zone, but now your kid has no idea what man-to-man principles are. You know, what are these trainers doing? Everybody knows all the Kyrie Irving moves, but they can't do a simple pivot. You understand? Like, these are the things that it has to be solved, because the gap is just getting wider and wider, where these kids has no understanding of what's going on. You know, and then you want to put it on a coach to change this in 3 months. Parents want you to work miracles out here, and that's not how it goes. That's not how this thing goes. This is a community effort. You understand? And it takes us all. It takes us all.
I don't know. I just personally know I don't want any kid that I come across to feel the way I felt when I was younger, or when I started trying to develop into a man, and I didn't know how to be a man. I had no idea how to be a man. You know, I'm thinking you think that you're just a man when you're 25 or you 30. Like you just a man because you make some money or you paying some bills, and it's not the case at all, right? And it becomes frustrating. Like, well, damn, I was never taught any of this at all. Things that you would think that you should know naturally, you know. And it's even worse now. It's like that type of mind frame, and kids got to deal with that on steroids. Kids don't know how to be a man or a woman because they getting raised by kids. Like, it's crazy. Kids raising kids. Like, it's insane. You know, and I just remember that feeling it gave me. And it's just not right. You know, and I understand it because there's a lot of adults that's going through their own pain. You know, and I gotta worry about my own thing. You know, again, in a way, it's crabs in a barrel. You know, like, I'm not really trying to invest in you as my son or as my daughter. Again, I know that sounds wild, but you know, I'm not really trying to do that. I got my own thing, so you gotta learn on your own. You know, a lot of everything we doing in this city is like first generation type of stuff. Like first generation, there's no manual for it at all. Like none, right? So it's like we kind of just winging it out here, you know, striking out and missing, you know, trying to figure it out, because people don't come here and teach us these type of things. You know, yeah, you would think you would know how to change a tire growing up. You would think that's a normal thing. You would think you would know how to make a ponytail as a girl. You would think you would know all these common sense things, but you know, when people don't invest in you, you don't know. But you always know how to sell drugs, though. You always know how to use drugs. You always know how to go rob somebody or get in the gang. You know, we know those things. Or go to a liquor store or go to a corner store and get a pot de Leo. We know those things because that's all they show us. They want to show us that. Because they want to show us things that destroy ourselves. Like, they don't want to show us things that, you know, spark our brain, you know, and do what we capable of. Because we're extremely smart, you know, naturally. You know, but they don't want to show us that. You know, we just gotta wake up, man. We just gotta wake up and stop wasting time. Stop acting like life is over because, you know, you was dealt a bad hand. Like, yes, and that's never gonna change. That's never gonna change as colored people. You always gonna be dealt a bad hand. Like, understand that. It's never gonna be fair. It's never gonna be even. So stop saying why me and crying, you know, and play the cards you dealt, which is actually good cards because you are the talent. Like, that's what we need to understand as a culture. We are the talent. Like, yeah, we got a 2 out of 10 chance of doing this over here, but it actually ain't bad as you think, because you can do it, because you're extremely talented in what you do. And the world want to make you think that you don't have any talent. They want you to quit. Nah, don't do that. Like, we got to keep fighting, and that's what we're trying to instill in these kids. Like, these kids is just so, like, and it's okay to be emotional, but they're so emotional and they use it in such the wrong way. Any type of negative anything, they just plummet and they stop. It's crazy. Like, they don't know how to deal with any adversity. You know, you can't speak to them in a type of way. It's like all kids want in this generation is instant gratification. And it's crazy because this generation is so colorful. Like, they're so colorful and they're way smarter than my generation and the previous generation. Way smarter. But
they're so soft, but in the wrong way, if that makes sense. Like, they just don't know how to handle anything, you know? And when nobody puts you in those situations, that's what's gonna happen. And when you're dealing with a social media society, that's how it's gonna happen. And when you're dealing with a microwave society, when everybody wants instant happiness in 2 seconds, that's what's gonna happen, you know? So all those things is what we fighting against. And like, it's a tidal wave of things that we gotta, you know, kind of push out of these kids, you know. But I believe, man, I believe that this can change for the better, because again, every human being wants to be better, wants to be the best. But when you're programmed to be a certain way, why would you change? Especially when only one person is coming at you in a different type of tone. Like, what? Don't nobody talk to me like that. Don't nobody say I need to do this type of stuff. Like, yeah, you tripping, you know? Like, it's uncomfortable. The way we coach is uncomfortable, you know, for a lot of people, you know, because we're going to push you. You know, we're going to push you. We're going to push you to levels that you've probably never been pushed before. And I tell every parent and kid the same thing. I don't care if you get upset about the way we coach, because you have to navigate this thing called life. And I'm doing every kid a disservice when I don't push you as hard as I can, because I have to prepare you in my way for life. And if that means you're gonna get upset with me, so be it. So be it. You know, but I got a duty. When you walk into that gym, it's my duty to do that. It's my duty to push you as hard as I possibly can. You know, I'm always gonna do that. I'm never going to waver away from that. A lot of coaches want to change how they coach because this parent want to say something, or the administration got a problem with, or the kid, or the superstar, quote unquote kid, doesn't like the way you're doing things. I've never subscribed to that. Like, nah, I know my way works, you know. And again, more importantly, I know, and this is coming from experience, because I have made mistakes in the past, you know, where I had to learn by doing it the right way with a kid, you know. Like, but then when it clicked for me, you know, it was like, no, this is the only way. This is the only way through this game called basketball. You can learn so many life lessons through the sport of basketball and through sports in general. So many life lessons. It teaches you so much, which is why I appreciate it so much. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, I don't know. But we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it.